Alright, second round, a bit in the middle. Inferno this time. RDL is fielding 2 Bushwhacker B with the LBX, 2 Maulers with the UAC-20, and a Hewitt. Looks like the prime. Probably for the cheap price and the heat efficiency.
Over on the KoS side, we've got a pretty mixed set of units again. Typical Bushwhacker A, good choice on this map. A Hollander C, UAC-20 variant. An Owen C, mainly for money saving and scouting. The reason why you've got quite a few cheap assets there is because they've got all the money invested in 2 Novacat A's. One piloted by KoS 37 and the other one by KoS Invictus.
The A1 would be the laser one?
That's the 5 large clam beam lasers, that's right.
Okay, it seems that RDL is moving up to the higher parts of the map. On the city, more to the center. I think they should be pretty close to KoS Scout.
KoS forces holding back in a fairly open part of the map, one of the only few open areas that there is in Inferno.
RDL might have spotted something. They're stopping and backing off a little bit. Bet they don't want to get caught out in the open.
Unfortunately, KoS will probably camp that point, and there is not an easy way of sneaking up at all without being spotted and getting much range fire coming your way.
RDL does have some long range with their Hewitt, but it's certainly not enough to match 2 Novacats.
The Novacats will cut that thing apart in just a couple of salvos. What's the time limit on these games, by the way, Roy? Yeah, I hear that. I can just see 2 camp setups here. Mainly because RDL have a brawl list and they're quite content to sit on that hill. Out of line of sight of the KoS forces who have a range list. And we'll more than likely sit back there and wait. But we'll see. One may break first in the next few minutes.
Yeah, I can see RDL not wanting to move, seeing it. Oh, there we go. RDL is opening fire with their Hewitt.
It's just the armour it's got, that's the problem, but I'm surprised that Invictus isn't returning fire unless if that's over. Yeah, that's a range. It's over max range, isn't it? What about now? Is that hitting?
I saw some impact marks, I think something hit.
Yeah, that's no, it's definite laser fire from Invictus. I saw him have a pretty close shot when he jumped. I'm just not sure if it was in range to hit that Hewitt. But KoS moving forward now anyway. Obviously not content to sit there in Hewitt plink range.
Yeah. Well, I can see why RDL doesn't want to move out, seeing as they can't really get to that position without exposing themselves to those huge laser guns.
It's a very
and
good
they
position,
do have ammo for that Hewitt.
So
like friend Roy just informed us, 14 tons of reloads if they brought it for full reloads. Seems like KoS shifted and just placed themselves behind some hills instead. don't think RDL can get a line of sight with their Hewitt now.
Well, even if there isn't much going on action-wise at the moment, you can still admire the prettiness of the map. Inferno definitely being one of the better-looking maps out of the lot.
Yeah, it is nice. And I quite like the layout of it too when it's not in the pub game mode.
Yeah, I mean, when it's being fully utilised, Inferno's a nice map to play on. You know, you've got with the meteors raining down, the sort of ash in the air, lava everywhere, and the random sort of volcanic eruptions. It's really a credit to the Crisis engine, to be honest, and what the MWLL team have managed to do with it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also fun with the temperature differences. This map being so hot and having those localized lava pits you have to watch out for.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
a challenging map.
A lot of people have issues with it because it's kind of outside of the standard mould of most maps. But I mean, one thing to remember about BattleTech, you know, what makes BattleTech is the heat system. You know, if you didn't have this heat system with the mechs, then it would only be half a game, really, or half the game that it is. So people, you know, really should appreciate the different sort of sides of conflict that you can get in terms of different locations and how that affects the overall effectiveness of your units.
Yes, it affects not only what units you choose, but how you can play the units you have on the field.
That's right. Dirty is going to have at least BAP, I think that's BHP and that Owens. And yeah, the Hewitt with the BHP and ECM. I'd say that KoS in theory are a little bit lower down on sensors because they don't have the ECM. Over the RDL side, who've obviously got back sensors with that Hewitt.
I don't think they really care much. I mean, they have their scout positioned a bit further in front of themselves, and he's in cover. So I think they can pick each other up, so to speak. And no one really wants to move.
Yeah, it's a tactic we see KoS do quite a lot, is they'll position their scouts sort of halfway between both forces in cover and just sort of sit there, keep constant updates on what's going on.
Now, does the ONC also have C3 on it?
Yeah. For the price of the asset, the ONC gives you a lot in terms of overall fighting ability combined with sensor suite. In all honesty, with that Owens, it should probably be the combat Owens of the bunch. It should probably scrap the sensors and just purely be a weapons boat. Because it's just a little bit too much best of both worlds. Got movement from RDL.
Yeah,
They seem to be
RDL is
moving
moving.
to intercept KoS as they pull distance. Was that some kind of trick that they just did? They kind of repositioned a little bit, but have still maintained this large open space.
They have gotten a little bit closer. I see they're now taking fire. The jumping Nova Cats scored some hits on one of the maulers. It seems RDL is determined to close the distance now.
On this side of the map, they've got a lot more terrain that they can get closer in with.
The problem for RDL currently is that their Hewitt is very slow, so it will take a while before they can get it into the fight. Currently the bushwhacker charging first, which is a quite common tactic. The bushwhackers are cheap and good at withstanding damage. It is, they already took down one NOCAD. That is good focus fire. Oh, that was one of the bushwhackers down. Well, that's sort of the job, so they're focusing hard. Second NOCAD down. Hewitt is in action and he's just plinking away from a safe distance. Now the RDL goes on, it looks like he's going crit. Oh wait, was that a KoS? Ah, that Hewitt can just sit there and plink out its damage.
Ah, that's legged. And that's over.
And there we have it, that was the last KoS down. Lesson for the viewers, camping does not save you.
We are tied at 1.
This is 1-1 now for RDL versus KoS. Nice win by RDL.
What's the decider going to be? So, Sandblasted is that? Right, that's going to be interesting.